record this meeting, right? So yeah, this is all is good. So we can start deploying VMs with this. Follow this step by step. Uh, that's how you do it. So there's something called as ARM templates. What you're looking is, ARM templates. Look at this, Azure Resource
Correct.
Management template, right? So
Yeah.
it should take me to, yeah, the same thing, right? Yeah. So basically, I want to deploy it with a template. So I have that in my favorites here. Let's do that. Okay, we can go to templates. So ARM templates is nothing but a JSON template, which is JavaScript object notation. Now there's a whole lot of templates here. All of these are templates. What is this template doing? It is deploying a data lake store account with encryption. This guy is doing something. It's doing something. So there's a whole lot of templates out here which are ready to be deployed onto my production. Of course, I've got to check what that script is doing. But let's say I've got to just search for the virtual machine, right? So I just search for virtual machine. That's what I want to deploy. I'm not interested in SAP or other things. Uh, let's see, look at this. Two VMs in a VNet. It is deploying two VMs in a VNet and they are behind the load balancer. That's good. Let's filter them further by saying compute and see what we get. I'm looking at the template that will deploy.
Anand, can you repeat it? Can you repeat it? I missed it, Anand. Like where to search? I was trying to search this template. It was going crazy last night. I was
Okay.
going to GitHub and searching all the stuff.
Right, so this is the link. Let me post that
Okay.
link in the chat here. Mm, okay. Yeah, that is a link. You can search for all your templates. Virtual machine. Mhm. So it's searching for the term virtual machine in the list of um, all of these, and I want to build a single VM here, not in the whole infrastructure. This guy's building two VMs in a load balancer with certain load balancing rules. Uh, it's good. Deploy a
There is
virtual,
one create a VM with multiple NICs.
create a VM with multiple NICs and RDP accessible. This one, right? Right here.
Yeah,
Another one is deploy a
yes.
virtual machine with SSH RSA public key.
So that
So
may be a Linux machine.
yeah, create a VM with user image, the kind of a custom image. So yeah, let's pick up what Asgar just said. Let's pick up this one with a single VM with multiple NICs and all that. Let's see how we can customize that. Now here, when you're deploying this VM, of course you can customize that by going to the GitHub. Mm, and here is the script that will be executed, that you have to execute it on your PowerShell. So new Azure RM resource deployment is a name, the deployment name, go into this resource group and pick up all the um, parameters of the virtual machine from this particular point, from Azure deploy.json inside this. So it's actually saying something and doing something else here actually. Create a VM with multiple NICs and RDP accessible. It's even creating a load balancer for us. The template deploys a storage account, virtual network, public IP, two network interfaces, front end and a back end. If you scroll down, it is also looking for a load balancer. It's creating the load balancer for us. Um, I'm not comfortable with that. There's another one that we can pick up as part of this. Let's see. Uh, yeah. So what is this guy doing? Creates a VM and creates a NAT rule for RDP on the VM. Again, it's creating a load balancer. No option. Um, public port for RDP. So this is I think satisfy our Sadik's requirement as well because you want to know how to um, not use port number 3389, the regular port for RDP. And this is something that's doing exactly the same thing. So let's go ahead and deploy this. But before we deploy and start this running this command as is, right? We don't want to run this command as is. What we'll do is go ahead and look at the GitHub. We'll click on browse on GitHub, and that takes me to a third-party website called github.com, where you will have all third-party scripts out there. And the one that I'm interested in here is Azure deploy.json. So when I click on it, I'll see the template file, which is all the parameters specified for the virtual machine. There you go. So if you want to look at it in a better way, click on raw and select plain notepad format, right? It's a plain notepad format. So what I'm going to do is copy all of this and start modifying it. So I'll put that in a notepad plus plus, because in notepad it will really look garbled. So I'll put this in my notepad plus plus here, and there you go. It's copied here. So here the parameter section starts. This is where you start defining the parameters for your virtual machine, and it says DNS label prefix. This description here, but there is no value that's given to the attribute called as DNS label prefix. So when it doesn't give you a value, you will be prompted to put that value. So when you execute this, or when you call this JSON from PowerShell, you will be asked, hey, what is a DNS label prefix? Because there is no default value in here. But look at the next attribute, the next parameter, VM name. It has a value, default value. The name of the VM will be VM. If you remove this, right? If you go ahead and remove this, it's going to ask for the VM name as well. It said, hey, type the VM name, right? So the same thing holds true for this guy, which is admin username. The username here is cloud guy. But look at the password thing. It doesn't have any default value in here, which is good. We really don't want to hard code any passwords in the scripts, right? That's exactly why you don't have any passwords. So what I'm referring to is that exactly this attribute of this property. If you have the default value here, the script will just go ahead and pick up this and give this username as cloud guy. But if you do not put this, at the time of execution, it will ask you to type that in, right? So that's how it goes. Similarly, if you as you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you'll have several variables defined for for the virtual machine. Everything that a VM needs, right? A VM needs a VM name. It needs a user ID, password, a network card. Whether you want to make it public or not is up to you. Then it also needs an operating system. What is the operating system is something that you can define here. And it also needs a storage account. Where should it go and reside? Do you want it behind a load balancer or not? So there's several parameters that a VM actually has, and all of these are defined one by one, right? So you can of course feel free to modify this, and you don't have to upload it back to GitHub to execute this. You can save it on your computer and say and execute it right from your computer itself. And we'll take a look at that in a minute. So here the default value RDP port is picking up as 50,001, but you are free to choose what you want. Um, so I'll go ahead and modify some of these settings. Let's say let's the VM name is a lab machine one. Yeah, that's the name of the machine. And make sure that this name that you're giving is compliant to Windows, because Windows by default cannot take more than 15 characters in um, in a VM name, right? And it cannot just have alphanumeric or the special characters in the name. Yeah. So admin username is change this as so root admin. We'll keep moving the password. I'll leave this port the way it is. It's creating a VNet here. The VNet name is RDP VNet. Yeah, we go ahead and change that and say I don't want it to be RDP VNet, but say prod VNet. Yeah, that's the address range is /16 here, and let's go ahead and modify this. Make it 172.180.0.0/16. The other guy, and then becomes 172.180.30.0/24. It's actually selecting Windows Server based operating system, and then I will have an image which is 2012 and R2, which is good. Okay, so So good, and I'm making sure that it gets a dynamic public IP. There's the storage group. I'm selecting the standard LRS, locally redundant storage. So everything is just right here. Backend port is 3389. So port forwarding will then be done on port number 3389, right? So scroll down further. Yeah, so the VM size is standard D2. You can pick and choose whatever you like. But for now, let's leave it the way it is. So what I'm going to do is save this file somewhere locally on my, let's say, on my PC, on my D drive. It's a D drive, and give it a folder name Alpha. Alpha is right there. So say create PC.json and save. Awesome. So I got it right there, and I'll close it because I don't need this anymore. So I'll go back to the reference document where we initially picked up the script from, which is Microsoft side, because that's exactly what will tell me how to execute this or how to call my template. So I'll copy the whole thing and go to my PowerShell. Well, I've been playing around PowerShell for quite some time now. Today because I had certain things to do. But for now, let's do this. And you may have several accounts in Azure, so I'll first log in my Azure account and just hit this one, which will take me here. And I am doing, I'm doing my labs at hotmail.com. That's my, who's ready? Let's see how that goes. Alright, so let's just sign out and sign this different. Alright, let's go password. Alright, seems like I should be logged in. Yeah, okay. I'm logged in. So now I'll execute this. But before we do that, I need to have these things figured out. I'll give a deployer name like deploy. Yeah, go ahead and deploy. It's just anything. Resource group name. I'm not sure what the resource groups I have in my account. So I'll simply say mm, get out from Azure RM resource group, right? Get out from Azure resource group. And that should list down all the resource group that I have, and one of them is pods, right? So I'll use the existing one. So good to go. It's a PRODS. Just get rid of everything that's extra. And now my template is actually in location that's personal, the personal drive, which is p colon slash um, alpha slash over the VM deploy DC. What was it? Yeah, create DC register. Is that what it was? To go check. So it was alpha. So yeah, create DC register. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and execute this line and see what we get. So to execute this, I'll hit F8 on the keyboard, and now you see this pop-ups that it's giving. DNS label prefix, right? So you can just say a prefix as aloha. Nothing, just prefix. That's my prefix. Now what is the password? Password that I give it because we did not hard code that in the script. That's for the best practices, so it's just doing its job. So whatever we hard coded, it's gonna pick up those values, and um, the ones that we did not hard code is necessary for the machine or the script to give you a pop-up. So let's give it some time here and see how that works. So while that is going on, right, I'll just go to my account here, go to my resource group and see what's going on, right? You cannot just be silent and just keep looking at this. I want to see if it's doing something. So go to my resource groups, and right here in this blank space, I will see one deploying, right, and one succeeded. The other part is one deploying, right? So work is in progress. So something happened here. I was creating functions, but yeah, deploy is the name of the deployment. Yeah, deploy is the name of the deployment. So that's what it is. You can actually scroll down to the bottom and see what exactly it's doing. Um, so it is creating a storage account right now. Go ahead and refresh it, and you may see more things Okay. Yeah, nothing now. Um, so so it will take some time, like between 7 to 10 minutes, to get this thing sorted out. So storage account is created, your VNets will be created in some time, and then your VM is uploaded along with the other things that it needs, like a network card, your hard disk, and all that. It's pretty uh, simple to deploy infrastructure. Otherwise, we have to go through all the hiccups and challenges and problems to deploy simple infrastructure in our traditional world. So just waiting. Now, in the meantime, let's go to virtual machines and see what's going on here. Virtual machines. Look at this. I got my virtual machine created. Look at it. It should be in my 172 subnet, right? It must create a VNet. Got a public IP address, and I got a exact name. Prod VNet is the name that I gave it, right? Click on it, and I must have the CIDR block of this uh, prod VNet is 172.180.0.0/16. That's what we must have. Um, as per the script, if it deployed it correctly. Yeah, that's right, 172.180.0.0/16. And the other one is we created one subnet along with that. So you have, yeah, 172.180.0/24. So it's doing exactly as we uh, told it to do, not a minute of a deviation. Right? So there's no human errors. So if you would like to do repeatable deployments, right, again and again, you want to deploy virtual machines again and again, just go ahead and run this one more time. That's it. Go modify any settings that you may like to modify, and that's it. You're good to go. That's about JSON deployment. Similarly, you can go ahead and pick up and choose so many scripts that we have. Go ahead and play around with these. Um, see what we can get. Well, yeah, another thing that I did not mention here is if you go to your portal, I'm sure it will be behind a load balancer, but let's give it a shot. Load balancer, yeah, load balancer is created, and you have a backend pool as well behind which we'll have our virtual machine. There you go. And it will also have NAT rules. And this is what I was saying, that when you try to RDP, it will not RDP on port number 3389 because you have NAT rules mentioned here, which is on port number 5000. So when you MSTSC, you have to do MSTSC on the public IP address colon 5001, because that's what we specified there. So let's try to see how that goes. This machine is still getting created. It says creating status, but there's nothing wrong in giving it a try. Sometimes it just works. Yeah, 204 dot 214.116 and then if I try to do enter right now, then I go. I'm just trying to do this. There you go. That's it. So hey, it may not be in caps. My caps just got accidentally on, but usernames are not case sensitive. Passwords are. So that's about the JSON deployment through PowerShell and magic of JSON. Alright. So our VM is ready. It's pretty good. So manager, now you can start deploying your application, put your workloads on it, and do whatever you want. Yeah. You can start taking snapshots of it, take a backup, and you're all set. Yeah. So I would like you to go ahead and play with this one. I'm just putting that in the chat. So the reason why we want to do this is because I would like you to create two virtual machines. This template is already doing that. Building two domain controllers, putting them behind the load balancer, and then promoting the machines as domain controllers also. And the reason why we want to do this is because we want to do synchronization between on-premise Active Directory with Azure Active Directory. So that's one of the reasons why we want to do this.
Okay.
So that way you will have Active Directory
So,
created as well, and you will be also getting a chance to work on Azure AD Sync.
so for that, like we need to create a local, I mean, like off cloud AD as well.
No, no, you
That should
don't
be
have to do
configured.
anything now. As far as Azure Active Directory is concerned, we'll do it
Uh-huh.
in the next session. But for
Okay.
that, we just need to have some DCs, on-premise DCs. And because we do not
Okay.
have on-premise DCs, we are simulating
Mm.
such an environment and just thinking
Okay.
that these domain controllers that I'm creating in the cloud are on-premise.
Okay.
So when I create user accounts in Active Directory,
Mm-hmm.
they must be synchronized to Azure Active Directory in platform as service. So we'll see how that
Okay.
synchronization happens by installing
Mm-hmm.
certain tools and what are the things that we should look at. Something that I will tell in the next session. But for now, let's go ahead and deploy this Azure deployed.json, this one. So that ways we'll also practice how to create uh, machines with the help of JSON and play around that. Um, and you'll have VMs ready as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. In fact, we can go ahead and query my entire Azure VM, Azure VM, and then say execute that. You should be able to pull my VM out. So there you go. I've got a VM with the name Lab Machine 1. Location is that. VM size. That is a OS type as well. And you can put all of that information in text file as well. Just say out hyphen file, r hyphen file, and say equal slash. I'll put that in the same folder alpha slash output.txt, right? Then we execute that. So now everything's right there. Let's say notepad, open up in notepad and say equal slash alpha. Where's notepad alpha? And say output.txt. Perfect. There you go. So you got my report right away. If you want it in Excel format, so instead of out-file, you can say export-csv. Yeah, that works. So let's give that a shot. See how that works. Well, this is txt. Let's make it csv. Yeah. And one more time. Now we say Excel. Oh, say slash alpha. Say what was the file name? Output. Yep. We got a nice success. Right? You can get rid of this as well in the hyphen type. This is some garbage that it puts it to in every Excel every time you do export. So what I can do is say export hyphen CSV and don't put any garbage. Just say no flower. So go no type information. Now, yeah, I think that is gonna happen. So let's run this. Oops. Type information. Slide. And now get Excel. Is that equals slash what's it? Output. So now we don't get that garbage, and we have right the headers and um, the values right underneath. Okay, the machine name, machine type, location, license, and the rest of the attributes. So if you have 10 machines, you should be able to get that all of them. Alright, you want to give these things a shot? I'll put all of this in the chat right here so you don't have to look at the video. Just copy and paste it in the file and see. Okay? question. Would you like to go ahead and play around this, and we'll regroup tomorrow for another exciting session in Powershell with Azure? Okay.
Yeah, I think we